antibody complex reactions, and second section we discussed about the antigen antibody reactions, 10 type of antigen antibody reactions. Okay, am I audible to you all?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. uh, Tell me the antigen antibody reactions one by one. Yes, I told you the assignment to take down all antigen antibody reactions, then the classification of this immunity classification, what is antigen, what are the antibodies, structure, characteristics, then biology or immunochemistry, that is we discussed about IgG, IgM, IgE, IgD, immunoglobulins. Okay, that part you should cover by this time. So now today we are going the next section of immunity, very very important. This section is, that is hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, still we are coming. Okay, now hypersensitivity reactions. What is the meaning of hypersensitivity? It is defined as an exaggerated or inappropriate immune response which is associated with onset of adverse effects on the body. So it is nothing but exaggerated or inappropriate immune response. It is nothing but a immune response only, but it is in the exaggerated or it is inappropriate form. Okay, and it gives rise to the adverse effects on the various system or various tissue, causing tissue destruction. It is a reaction in response to endogenous or exogenous antigens, which manifests clinically as a form of immunogenic tissue injury. That is, the response which is endogenous or exogenous antigens. Exogenous antigens and endogenous antigens, which gives rise to tissue injury. There are main types of immune response concerned. They are classified as follows. Now, the first section or first immune response, it is associated with humoral antibodies. It is associated with humoral antibodies. That is, it gives rise to three type of hypersensitivity reaction: type 1, type 2, and type 3. And second section or second immune response, it is related with delayed or cell mediated immunity. It is related with cell mediated immunity, and it always shows delayed response, that is within 24 to 72 hours, and we call it as type 4 hypersensitivity. So we are going to discuss type 1 hypersensitivity, type 2, type 3, and type 4 hypersensitivity one by one. Okay, today we are going to discuss 1 and 2 hypersensitivity reactions, which is a immediate hypersensitivity. We call it as immediate hypersensitivity. It requires few seconds, minutes, or few hours. Within few hours, it get developed. And this delayed or cell mediated immunity, it requires 24 to 72 hours. Okay, it requires 24 to 72 hours, 2 to 3 days. It requires 2 to 3 or up to 4 days may require to get this particular clinical manifestation of this particular hypersensitivity. Now, type 1 hypersensitivity. It is called as anaphylactic hypersensitivity. It is called as anaphylactic type of hypersensitivity. It is also called as atopic hypersensitivity. It is also called as atopic type of hypersensitivity. It is defined as a state of rapidly developing or anaphylactic type of immune response to antigen, that is mainly allergen, okay, to which the individual is previously sensitized. The individual is previously get sensitized. There are two type of this parts in this particular type 1 reaction: after first sensitization and after second sensitization. Okay, the reaction which occurs after first sensitization and the reaction which occurs after second sensitization. The reaction appears within 15 to 30 minutes of exposure to this antigen. In some cases, there is a second late phase reaction occurring after 2 to 24 hours. It may require 2 to 24 hours after this in the second phase of this particular disease. Okay, so the example of this particular type of reaction is allergic rhinitis. Allergic rhinitis, it will take 2 to 24 hours to get this clinical manifestation. Okay, the reaction appears within 15 to 30 minutes of after exposure of any antigen. It is sort of an allergen. It may be dust, it may be house mites, it may be some pollen grains, it may be some strong fumes of the chemicals. So anything, any allergen, it act and it gives rise to a reaction within 15 to 30 minutes. Etiology, now this type 1 or anaphylactic hypersensitivity, the etiology, it is genetic basis. Ability to respond to antigen and produce IgE antibody, these both are linked to genetic basis. Okay, so if parents are having any allergy to some particular thing, this may carry forward in the next generation in their offsprings, and they also shows the similar hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, so we call it as a genetic predisposition, genetic basis. It has a genetic basis. Now the second is environmental pollutants. The environmental pollutants increase mucosal permeability. All of you know that if this anything enters in our body, the mucus discharges get increases to wash away that particular thing. Okay, so it is a body's first line defense mechanism. It comes under a defense mechanism. So by the environmental pollutants increase mucosal, and it will give rise to inflammation whenever there is inflammation, and it will give rise to increase the permeability. This allows the increased entry of an allergen into the body. Okay, the environmental pollutants increase the mucosal permeability by increasing discharges and increase inflammation, mucosal inflammation, and the permeability of mucosal membrane increases. So they allow us to increase the entry of other allergens into the body, which in turn lead to rise the IgE levels. Okay, so this allergy, whenever this enters in the allergen enters in our body, the levels of IgE, that is IgE immunoglobulin, increases. We discussed about this particular type of immunoglobulin, that it always take part in the allergic reactions or hypersensitivity reactions, the characteristic of IgE immunoglobulin. Okay, and it mainly it lives in the mucous membrane. Then third etiological factor is concomitant factors, that is type 1 reaction may be linked to simultaneous occurrence of certain viral infections of upper respiratory tract in a susceptible individual. Okay, if the person is susceptible to that particular allergen or that virus, then there is if there is simultaneous infections, viral infections, then this type 1 hypersensitivity may get developed in that particular person. The viruses, they are influenza viruses, or yes, what are the names of viruses? Yes, rhinoviruses, influenza viruses, then yes, parainfluenza, yes, then adenoviruses. So these are the viruses, name of the viruses. Whenever any person is susceptible to that particular infection, repeatedly attack, this type 1 hypersensitivity may develop. So etiological factors, first is genetic basis, then environmental pollutants, and concomitant factors, that is repeated viral infections. It will go into the type 1 hypersensitivity. Now, what is the pathogenesis of this type 1 hypersensitivity? This reaction includes participation by B lymphocytes, then plasma cells, mast cells, and basophils, neutrophils, eosinophils. So these all factors, they participate in this reaction. B lymphocytes, plasma cells, mast cells, basophils, neutrophils, and eosinophils. Now, what happens whenever there is first exposure to antigen? When the antigen enters in your system by the first time, then what will going to happen? The antigen presenting cells, that is, we call it as dendritic cells, present the allergen to CD4 plus helper cells, that is this type of lymphocytes, this antigen presenting cell. That what is antigen presenting cell? That is, antigen whenever enters in that particular body, they represents that antigen itself. So they present the allergen to that particular CD4 or helper cells, which are get activated and generate excessive response by the release of cytokines. Okay, there is release of cytokine. So the response, it gives this response by cytokine producing cells. The further response is by cytokine producing cell. So what happens first? The antigen representing cells, they expose towards the CD4 plus helper cells, and which get activated, and they releases, they stimulates the cytokine producing cells, and there is, in by this results, there is high production of several cytokines. So interleukin 4, interleukin 5, interleukin 13, which take part in this particular reaction. This interleukin or this cytokines acts on the B cell and plasma cells, stimulating the excessive synthesis of IgE antibodies. So what is the chain of reaction? Allergen enters into the body. There is stimulation of formation of CD4 plus helper cells. The CD4 helper cells get activated, and they give stimulation to the cytokine producing cells. Then there is exaggerated production of cytokines, that is interleukin 4, 5, 13. These interleukins, they act on the plasma cells, and they stimulate the excessive synthesis of IgE immunoglobulins. Okay, so IgE immunoglobulins, they get secreted, and what will going to happen furthermore? Fixation of this IgE immunoglobulin to the mast cells and basophils by Fc fragment. Now all of you know what is the Fc fragment, what is the structure of this antibody. We discussed there are two arms of this particular immunoglobulin, and there is one rod-like structure in between. It's called as Fc component. Okay, so what will going to happen? This synthesized excessive synthesized IgE immunoglobulin, they fix to the mast cells and basophils by Fc fragment. Okay, understood? Now what will going to happen whenever there is second exposure with the same antigen? Whenever there is second exposure with the same antigen, IgE antibodies on the surface of basophil and mast cells, They are so firmly bound to the Fc receptors that it sets in a cell damage to mast cells and basophils, and there is membrane lysis. So there is damage to the membrane get lysis, and there is influx of sodium and water, which will give rise to disintegration or degranulation of that particular cell. All of you know that this mast cells, they contain inflammatory granules. They contain inflammatory granules. So on degranulation, preformed granules are released from mast cells and basophils, which contain chemicals and enzymes acting as a mediators of immediate hypersensitivity. So whenever this mast cell, there is degranulation occurs because of this firm attachment of this antibody on the surface of basophils and mast cells. Okay, this IgE antibodies, they tied firmly on the surface of this mast cell basophils. So what will going to happen? There is damage of the cell membrane, lysis of the cell membrane. Because of influx of this damaged cell membrane gives rise to influx of sodium and water, and there is degranulation. Okay, so there will be now the immediate hypersensitivity after degranulation. Now the effects of released preformed granules. What are the effects of this release of this preformed granules? So it will leads into increased vascular permeability. There is smooth muscle contraction. Now I am going to ask you one question. In which disease we have discussed about this smooth muscle contraction? It happens in which disease? Yes? This is the question for you, my dear students. And that particular part is over. We discussed about that. Yes? Could you able to hear me properly now? Yes? Yes? Tuba? Yes, what is that disease in which there is smooth muscle contraction occurs because of release of or degranulation of mast cells? Yes? Yes, Tuba? Vallabh, Anjali, please be attentive. Yes?
Ma'am, it is occurring cirrhosis, hepatitis.
No. Smooth muscle contraction, Vallabh. It is smooth muscle contraction. Happens in which disease?
Yes.
Pulmonary hypertension.
No, dear. No, Pranjali. It is with asthma. Asthma, yes. It is asthma. In asthma, what will going to happen? Because of entry of this allergen, there will be increased vascular permeability. There is release of this inflammatory granules around this bronchiole, and there is smooth muscle cell contraction. Okay, so
Okay.
you can mute yourself now. Now there is next is increased nasal and lacrimal secretion. There is increased nasal and lacrimal secretion. Then early vasoconstriction followed by vasodilatation. There is first vasoconstriction and then there will be vasodilatation because of histamine, bradykinin like enzymes present in that particular granules. So that will lead into increased permeability, smooth muscle cell contraction. First there is vasoconstriction, then vasodilatation. Then increased gastric secretion is again as there is increased mucosal permeability, there is increased gastric secretions. Then shock, it may lead into shock or increased migration of eosinophils and neutrophils at the site of local injury. So this is the effect of this particular release of inflammatory granules at the site, okay, from the mast cells. So this happens in the second exposure. Okay, what was in the first exposure? Just there is this binding of this IgE to mast cell. It occurs in the first exposure of antigen. There is release of several cytokines which act on the B cells and plasma cells. There is stimulus in synthesis of more and or excessive in amount of IgE immunoglobulins, and these IgE immunoglobulins, they are fixed to the mast cell with the help of Fc fragment. That happens in the first exposure. The next there will be degranulation of the mast cell, and this all things that happened in the after exposure of this second exposure of the same antigen. Okay. So increased vascular permeability, smooth muscle contraction, increased nasal lacrimal secretions, early vasoconstriction followed by vasodilatation, then gastric secretion, increased gastric secretion, shock, that is circulatory failure, or it may be gives rise to increased migration of eosinophil and neutrophil at the site of injury, local injury. Okay, so this is a picture of this type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Fc receptors for Ig immunoglobulin, mast cell for basophils, and antigen antibody. So these are the receptors present on the macrophage or antigen representing cells. This antigen, it enters, it blocks with this particular IgE immunoglobulin, and it attached to that particular cell. Okay, so there is release, these are the mast cells, there is release of, or basophils, it may be basophils or mast cells, there is release of histamines, histamine like substances. Okay, and it will give rise to anaphylactic reaction. There may be urticaria or bronchospasm that happens in the asthmatic bronchitis. So type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, these are the antigen antibody complexes. They get attached with the help of Fc receptor. This is the Fc fragment, and these are the Fc receptors, and these are the mast cell or basophils. Okay, this is a chain of reaction. This allergen enters in your body. Okay, these are the allergens, yellow thing, allergen or pollen grain enters. This is the mucosal lining. These are the mucosal lining. It enters. These are the B cell. Okay, and these are the T cells. This allergen enters into the or get attached with this IgE immunoglobulin. IgE secreting these B cells. See, IgE immunoglobulin. Okay, the mast cells, attachment to the mast cell by the Fc receptors, and later on there is release of the or degranulation of the cell. Okay, so mediators here working there, vasoactive amines or lipid mediators or other cytokines. Okay, this vasoactive amines, interleukins, they act as a immediate hypersensitivity reaction minutes after repeat the exposure to allergen, and these cytokines originated late phase reaction, 2 to 8 hours required. Okay, for this reaction. So these are the phases described in this figure. There is activation of the cell and IgE class switching to the B cell, release of B cell, production of IgE immunoglobulin, then binding of IgE to the Fc receptor with the help of Fc receptors to the mast cell, repeat exposure. This is the repeat exposure of IgE immunoglobulin, repeat exposure of that allergen. More number of IgE immunoglobulin, they get firmly attached on this particular mast cell, and there is cell damage, membrane damage occurs, influx of sodium and water ions inside the cell, and cell, there is degranulation of that particular cell. It is the diagrammatic diagram of this particular type 1 hypersensitivity diagram showing you exposure to allergen. Okay, so exposure to allergen here, first response, the first exposure, and second after first exposure and after repeated exposure. Okay, now examples of this particular disease. It is discussed with the help of systemic anaphylactic reactions, systemic anaphylaxis and local anaphylaxis. Now, systemic anaphylaxis by administration of antisera administration of drug like penicillin, or there is bite by the any bee, honeybee. After honeybee bite, the similar chain of reaction happens in our body. So we call it as, it comes under systemic anaphylaxis. Due to some antisera, they produce allergen to that particular body or gives rise to any reaction, hypersensitivity reaction, any drugs. Okay, any drugs, antiseras or drugs, chemicals when enters in your body gives